What's up, Elevation Nation? It's time for Coffee Talk, and today we're going to talk about the buddy system.
Great idea, but doesn't work with our programs, at least.
A lot of times people come in and initially they want to start with their friend or their spouse because they're a little scared. So I think they feel like if they have a friend or a buddy to come in with them, that it's going to ease the pain. It's going to, they'll already have a friend built in. They don't have to make new friends. It's kind of like first day of school.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the mentality, right? I mean,
can I be honest? I don't feel supported right now.
Jesus Christ, Gamble.
Well, I would say that a lot of people that have not been into a coach program like we have, that are used to just signing up for gym memberships or signing up for classes, that they don't have the accountability that we offer with our program.
Yeah.
And so they're having to recruit their own like accountability system, and they're trying to create that on their own, which I get, and I like that they understand the value of accountability and having someone else to kind of making sure that you're coming into class or sticking to your program, whatever it is. But they're usually recruiting people who aren't as into it or aren't necessarily ready. You know, like it's always like one spouse, like the girl or the guy or whatever, you know, one friend is like super into it, they're ready to go, and they're kind of nervous, like you said, but they're like, oh, I need someone to hold me accountable, so I'm going to kind of like force my friend to do it with me, you know.
Yeah.
And their friends or their spouse are kind of, you know, they're supportive, they're like, all right, I'll give it a try, but they're really not into it.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Or they're not ready, or they're not into the style of training or whatever it is.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
So it ends up just backfiring.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
And it's very frustrating for us because, you know, I always tell people when they're thinking about, you know, I do like a one-on-one intro with them, and I talk to them about their goals. You know, they're really excited to get started, what they're going to work on, how we're going to get them there. I'm like, yeah, this sounds great. I want to get my husband involved, or, you know, I'm like, no. And they're always surprised that I tell them no. And I'm like, look, I want you to focus on you.
Wait! And I'd like to play some catch up on finding out who's inside here.
Let this be a good experience for you. Let the results speak for themselves. And
Right.
then if your spouse or friends or coworkers, whatever, like start to ask you about it, of course, educate them on what you're doing and why and how much you love it. But don't force it on people. Don't try to convince people to start, because if people really aren't ready,
well, you're assuming that
it's just,
you're assuming this other person has the exact same goals
Yeah.
and abilities, really, is
Right.
probably the main thing. Like, we see this mostly with spouses.
Right.
And there are a few couples that it works for, like, but it's so hard to have somebody else where your schedule's always perfectly aligned.
Yeah.
And your goals are the same, and you guys have the same abilities and you're the same starting point. What generally happens is either somebody's schedule gets knocked off or they get sick, so the other person doesn't come in as a result of that.
Right.
So now their fitness goals are taking a detour because the other
yeah, like, you're not
person's
going
showing
tonight?
up.
Well, I'm not going tonight.
Right.
It's like, well, why not?
Yeah, and it's like this safety blanket. And
Yeah.
that really becomes a problem, because now we have two individuals that are trying to operate as one. And then the other thing is that, like, one person is probably more capable or more advanced.
Right.
So all of a sudden they're like
Always.
kicking their partner's ass in a workout.
Yeah.
And then that becomes a problem. So they either dial it back to try to stay with them, like, we need to do the run at the same time.
Start
we need
this
to
together.
do the pull-ups at the same time. It's like,
Yeah.
but now you're holding back your progression.
Right.
And then you're kind of, the other person's probably just feeling like crap because you're you're like catering to them.
Yeah, everyone has to be in it for their own specific reasons and have their own plan of attack based on their unique goals.
Yeah.
And that's the issue with the buddy system, whether they're friends, coworkers, you know, business partners, spouses, you know, couples, whatever it is. It's always one person wants it a little more, or, you know, the other person just has a completely different goal or ability or whatever it is, and they end up just trying to move as one unit. And those first, I'd say 2-3 months to starting any new program is crucial that you are as consistent as possible. Like we see without a doubt when attendance starts to drop in those first 60 days, 90 days, like we know that's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, like once they get past that like 3-month mark, like, all right, this is absolutely a habit. They're into it. They're consistent. They've experienced the positive results. It's kind of, you know, they kind of just fall into their own routine and it's just become a part of their lifestyle. But those first 2-3 months are so crucial that when they start missing days because their accountability didn't go, or accountability buddy didn't go, or they're on vacation, or, you know, they didn't like that particular workout, so I'm not going to go either. We are your accountability buddy.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize. Like, that's already built in.
Yeah, we are your coach.
That's the whole point of the group training that we do.
Yeah.
And, like, having coaches there that know who you are and know what your capabilities are.
Right.
There's no reason to have a second person there.
No.
Like, step out of your comfort zone enough to where you can focus on you. That's the whole reason you're here. You're not here to focus on somebody else's goals. Like, that makes 0 sense.
Right.
So come in on your own.
Right.
And just allow yourself to grow and not be held back or, you know, derailed by somebody else's schedule or something like that.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't work.
I think people just have never experienced such a program that we provide, and a lot of CrossFit group training programs provide.
Yeah.
Is that we are holding you accountable. You know, it's not like a gym membership where you're just paying to use their equipment or just to hop in on a class or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's...
You know, like, I think there's just
buddies
a
are used to that.
misunderstanding of what it is our program provides, and that's why we really try to emphasize that we have a comprehensive system. Okay, we're holding you accountable to not only, you know, showing up to training consistently week after week, you know, day by day, but we're checking in on how are you sleeping, how are you feeling, what is your nutrition like, you know, all those things that go into making exercise a habit and truly like changing your body for the better the other 23 hours of the day outside of the gym. That is what we do as a comprehensive program. And people are so used to just signing up for a gym membership and thinking, okay, you know, I'm still kind of doing this on my own. Like, yes, they have access to the equipment. They find a little program and routine online. And so they're recruiting friends to help, like, keep them accountable, keep it fun, you know, because they're not talking.
Bench press.
Yeah, they're not talking to anyone at those gyms because everyone has earbuds in and everyone's just like very antisocial, stuff like that. Whereas our environment is very dynamic, very socially based. So you're going to talk to people.
Yeah,
like,
you're not allowed to wear earbuds here.
Yeah, our coaches are going to engage you. You're going to have a good time. We're going to joke. We're going to laugh. You know, we're very like beginner friendly. It's a very engaging environment, and humans gravitate towards that. We need, you know, those social experiences, and that's why people gravitate towards the buddy system when they don't understand what it is that they have access to and they're about to experience.
Yeah, just allow yourself to be the new kid at school for a week. Like, you'll make friends quick.
Yeah.
You'll learn things about yourself, but you have to immerse yourself in that first.
Yeah.
And like, we're saying this because we've seen literally hundreds of people
over and over again
come in and out of our gym, or they're still here, and the vast majority that come in with buddies, I mean, they leave the same time. Like, one person
last.
falls off, they cancel. All right, well, I can expect the other person to cancel. Yeah, that's how it works.
Always.
And it's too bad because they were making great progress, but they're going to give up because their friend wants to go, you know, to whatever, a $10 gym and keep
or
doing bench
stop.
press.
Or they just weren't into it from the beginning.
And that's the thing. Like, there is always that one person that's way more into it.
Right.
And that's usually, I feel like I see that with spouses a lot.
Yeah.
Like, the one person is really into it, they drag their spouse along.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen. Don't make them do that.
Yeah.
You two can live your separate lives. Like, you know,
Right.
like, I understand some couples feel like they have to do everything together.
Jinx, buy me a Coke. Oh, snap, man, we're still saying the same thing. This is amazing. Carrots, pumpernickels, glow sticks, twins.
Yeah.
Nicole
Or we get it
and
that it's beneficial. Like, I know they need to get in shape. They want to get healthy. They need this. Like,
it's like,
they're not.
in all the years we've been training, I can count on maybe, I don't know how many times we've actually trained together. Unless we were on the exact same program at the same time.
Right, it would never work.
You ready?
Yep.
Pirates,
Paperclips,
baby
bananas,
feet,
I don't know.
anger,
Words,
quicksand, boom!
Yeah.
And it's like, because I don't need that. Like, yeah, we can push each other, but we each have our own goals. We have things to work on. We have our own schedules.
And we have our own other people that we work out with.
Right.
Like, that are following our
that's
program.
good for you. I think, you know, you don't have to work out with your spouse. A lot of times it causes friction.
Oh man, it's hilarious.
And they start
You're gonna
bickering.
separate people.
And there's some relationships where it just aligns perfectly and they push each other and they can talk shit
Oh,
and
that's the best.
not get butthurt about it. But for the most part, there's always one person that wants it, one person that doesn't.
Yeah.
And
What is it?
you know,
Lucy wants to say hi. Well, so that brings up a really funny point. So that the couples and spouses that do come in, and let's say, one is more advanced, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they feel that they're more advanced, they know more. So, let's say that, we're coming in as a couple and you've been front squatting longer than I have. And so I'm having a hard time doing it. And you're trying to teach me how to do it and say, like, shut up, and like the female or the other person gets super pissed. But then the coach will come around and say the same exact thing. They're like, oh, okay.
yeah,
Right.
And it's like, don't coach each other.
Oh,
Do
no.
not
Yeah,
try.
we can't coach each other.
I've never been in that situation. I can't say that. I've never been there.
Just don't.
Alyssa is so freaking.
What?
Yeah, no, and we have to do that. And like Taylor said, it does work sometimes. Couples that come in, friends that come in, it does work here and there, but it's so rare. But it are those couples or friends that are totally okay with being independent of each other and going to separate class times or separating during class. Like, it's the people that have to come in together and like, we're going to share the same barbell and we have to do push-ups right next to each other and we're going to warm up and we're always going to be partners. And it's like, well then...
We're going to help each other stretch and I'm going to hold your hand. I'm going to put up your leg for you. And it's,
allow us, we're your buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
We're your buddy.
If you're in a relationship and you really want to try CrossFit or one of our programs or something like that, or at a different gym, and your wife or your husband's not into it, don't drag them into it. Just
do it for you.
You do it.
Yeah.
And then maybe in 3 or 4 months, when they see like what a great time you're having,
Results though.
they will want to do it. But you're not gonna force somebody into a fitness regimen or a life-changing habit. Like, you can't force people.
We've all
into
tried that.
Yeah.
Like, outside of exercise, we all know how it is to try to get people to change when they're not ready.
Yeah. Now, on the positive side, like, we are big proponents of the people at home, the people that surround you, being on the same page as far as like you eating healthy and going to bed on time and making time for yourself to go to the gym. But that's different. They don't have to be engaged in the same exact thing that you're doing.
Right.
But it helps. I mean, it helps to relate to that. And at some point, if you do CrossFit and your spouse doesn't, they're going to get so sick of hearing about CrossFit all the time because it's all you're going to talk about. They'll be like, God damn it, okay, I'll just join. Jesus. But
they do it on their own time.
Let them make that decision on their own.
Yeah.
And, maybe it's not even appropriate for your friend or your spouse. Like,
some people just aren't into it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, not even just our CrossFit program, but even our body program. Like, it's all very strength-based. Like, it is hard. It's as difficult as you want to be. And so we expect people to do a lot of new things they've never tried, to trust us, to kind of just go all in with our process and just be, a sponge and soak in, all of the tools and the things we have for them. Some people just aren't into it, know, and that's okay. It's just not for them.
Yeah, well, how often do you want to be forced into something like that takes effort?
Right. Not only like forced into something that takes effort, but forced into something that's difficult. Like we ask a lot of difficult things of people, like physically, mentally, like, whether they're trying something totally new that they just feel stupid about, like, oh God, I'm gonna feel embarrassed, or that it's physically taxing, they're out of breath, they want to keep. We demand a lot of people. And if you don't have those motives in the back of your mind to keep you going as to why you started in the first place, why you want to keep going, you're not gonna last. So usually one person has it, they're ready to go, they're trying to recruit their friends, their buddies. Just, I understand it, you're coming from a good place, great intentions. I think it's just a misunderstanding that you don't need your buddy to come in with you. You will make friends here. We will be your friends. All of our coaches will be your accountability buddy. Our gym is not designed to where we just want to take your membership money and not see you again. I want to see you here. We want to see you. That is why all of our programs are unlimited. We don't have 2 times a week or 3 times a week. If you can come in 5 times a week, I want you here.
Yeah, and I would go a step further and even say that I think the buddy system holds people back from even starting.
Right. Yeah,
like,
that's true.
I would bet there's a bunch of people out there that are like, man, I really want to start CrossFit or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get my friend to do it with me forever, and he just won't come in and start with me, so they haven't started.
Right.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, just do what you want to do.
Focus on you.
Yeah, you could have started months ago. But instead you're waiting around for somebody else to hold your hand. Like, make a buddy here. Every workout, every class that you're in, there's somebody next to you that will be your workout partner for that day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what you need. You don't need a full-time buddy to help you get in the program. You need workout partners, people that are going to push you in the right way. And that
Right.
could be different every day. It could be somebody that's just slightly better than you, and latch onto them and let them make you better.
Yeah. And
That's-
everyone has been in your shoes. Everyone has
Yeah.
been new at some point to our program, has been new to strength training and the movements that we have. Everyone has been in your shoes. And the cool thing about that is when we start to see, our other members help the newer people because they understand. They've been
Yeah.
there, like they can totally relate to just being lost and be like, what's a clip? Where are the clips? Where are
Yeah.
these things? And like, I got you. Like,
Yeah,
and
it's
so
really not
they,
that scary.
they end up like coming over and like kind of it's really, really special to see like them kind of like taking ownership and like the moms of the class and stuff like that. It's really awesome. So yeah, you have built-in friends here if you're open-minded enough to do it, and if you have that growth mindset, which you should, to start a CrossFit type program. Your buddies are here waiting for you. You don't need to wait for your friend or spouse to be ready or to convince them to come in with you. It's just not going to work out. It's going to hold you back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So don't wait for your buddy.
Yep. Lose the buddy. Do it for yourself.
Yeah.
That's it for this week's Coffee Talk. Remember to subscribe to Elevate St. Pete on YouTube, and we will see you next week with our next topic.
See ya.